Welcome to Chemistry with Mr. B. Today we're going to do one of the very first experiments ever performed. And this experiment was done to demonstrate, to show that air is actually matter. That air is something. I can't feel it, I can't see it. But it's there. We may accept it for today, but back when this experiment was performed, it was very difficult for people to comprehend the idea that air is something, it's a substance, it's matter. This was first proposed by Empedocles in 440 BC. Empedocles was a Greek physician and philosopher, and he proposed in the year 450 BC, which is 2,473 years ago, to be almost exact. But Empedocles proposed that the world around us is made up of four elements: earth, air, water, and fire. But he had a difficult time getting people to accept the idea that air is something. It's something, even though I can't see it, it's there. So he proposed to do an experiment in 440 BC, and he used a device that they had very popular back then called a clepsydre. Basically, it was a container to hold water, had a spout at the very bottom so the water would come out, and he used this in his experiment. So I made a clepsydre, my version of it today, to kind of replicate the experiment that he did. And just to show you, water will come out as I put water in here. Water comes out the spout. And so what he proposed was to do an investigation to see if air is something. Then right now there's air inside that. So he proposed, I'm going to take this and I'm going to put my thumb over it, close it up, and I'm going to place it in water to see if the water will go inside the container. And so he placed it in the water and lowered it down into the tank of water, all the way down. And then he took his thumb off of it, and he noticed bubbles coming out of the clepsydre. Again, he's doing an investigation, wants to see what happens when he lowers this, which contains air, lowers it into the water, and then removes his thumb. So again, this time, watch what happens to the water level on the outside in the tank here that I have. Watch what happens as I lower it down. Watch what happens to the inside. Does the water go in immediately inside the container? So as I lower it down, notice the water level really going up. And as I lower it in there, I think I can see it doesn't look like there's any water inside the clepsydre. Now I'm going to very slowly take my thumb off. Bubbles came out. Water went inside the clepsydre. And now let's see it. Oh, look at that. There is water there. So that's what he observed. Now, when you make observations, you've got to interpret those observations. And generally, you come up with a conclusion, an idea. And his idea was that air obviously exists because the water didn't go inside the container when the air was there. And he knew that the air it came out because he saw the bubbles. So I like doing this experiment in the first week of school to get students thinking about investigating. And so I do it a little differently. I do it with a thistle tube, which is a kind of a fancy type of funnel, just to show you if you pour water in there, it comes out through the hole. And so I use a thistle tube because I don't get my hands all wet. And I have a little bit of control over it. So I put my finger over it and I ask them, okay, what's inside the thistle tube right now? I've got it there, put my finger in there. What's inside? Air. So I lower it again. Let's watch what happens to the water level. Lower it in. it looks like there's no water inside the thistle tube. Now, as I take my finger off, oh, water was going up into the thistle tube. Let's do that again. Got it sealed with water or air inside. Lower it down. Now let it off. Did you hear that? It went really fast. Let me move closer to the camera. Maybe you can actually hear the air coming out of the hole. Try it again. Now be very, very quiet. Well, no, I didn't do it right. Let me do it again. I got it. I know now. Oh, you hear that? Oh, yeah. Now, see if I can feel it. Ooh, it came right out. It blew right in my ear. There's something there. It came out. It's coming out. And it makes a noise. And in fact, I get a little bit better noise. I've tried this with this because now if I lower this in here, now, see if we can hear it. Hear that? Air is coming out of the hole. So, again, the observations indicate that the air is taking it's there. It exists. It's taking up space. And that is the definition of matter. Matter is anything that takes up space and has mass, aka weight. But that's another lesson, another time. Mass and weight, but for our purposes, it's weight. So, we've shown today that air is matter. It does take up space and it does exist. Well, there's the bell. So, thanks for watching, and tell a friend about Chemistry with Mr. B. Remember, chemists do it in the lab. Experiment, guys. Experiments. They do lab experiments. Anyway, have a great day. See ya.